Aloha, I'm Scott, the Astro Manager, and this is my first video in the Astro Management content side of things. I posted something on my blog recently about working from home and the ability I found to sort of be more efficient with my time. And I've had some discussions with people since then, and sort of a new point that I want to raise in this little discussion. So I'll post a link to that blog entry down below. But what I was really trying to make the point in that blog was, although my time right now is filled with more Zoom meetings than ever before, just more meetings, right? More of my days blocked into meetings than it was before, right? Working from home. Here's my office, as you can see. The time that's not blocked in meetings is now more mine, right? And I have more ability to take that hour that's not in a meeting, and I can actually dedicate and focus my time during that work. So I have a chance to actually get things done that I didn't usually have a chance to do in the office. It didn't as easily. I can get into the flow of things more easily. And the reason is why is I'm not interrupted. Now, not that I'm constantly interrupted at work, and not that that's a bad thing, right? Certainly as a manager and leader, my large part of my role, if not the main role, my main role is to help my staff and others in the observatory, right? And to help them succeed. At the same time, though, every interruption that comes in your door that you deal with is, in essence, saying your interruption is more valuable than the work I would otherwise have done. And I don't believe that's always the case. How many times have you thought, oh, I'll go ask this person about something, and you go call her or you walk into her office and she's not there. And you say, okay, you go back to your office, then you do 5 or 10 minutes of thinking or Googling, you usually find the answer. So was that, you might have gotten the answer a couple minutes sooner if that person were in, but it wasn't really holding you up. You're able to recover pretty quickly. And if you had to interrupt that person, yeah, you may have saved a few minutes, but you also would have caused that person 7 to 12 minutes is the typical time to get back into the flow of things after an interruption. And if that person has a similar experience to me, there's another interruption before that window is over. And so there's rarely time to actually get something done in the normal workday, right? When I felt like I needed to accomplish something and I needed to produce something myself, it was often before or after hours, because that's when I could get that time. Now I can get that time during the day. I have fewer available hours, but when those hours are there, they are more mine. They're more available. I can do more work in that time. And so I think that suggests a little bit about this 24/7 interrupt open door policy. That's great in the sense that I want to be able to help those who need help. But I don't want to overly enable them, right? Because my work is valuable too. And there's value in actually solving a problem for yourself. And not that you aren't doing that, but when it gets too easy to interrupt somebody else to get your problem, you are, in terms of the organizational goal, that's not the most efficient way to do things. Slightly faster for you, you've delayed somebody else, that net loss is larger than if you had done it yourself. And for some things, right, you are actually depriving yourself of the ability to learn the problem yourself, to solve the problem yourself, to do that research, to figure out the other way to do it, right? And you're a little bit less vested in the outcome than if you'd done it yourself. Now, not every interruption is like that, and some things that there really are moments when they do need my help or someone else's help, and that's entirely appropriate. But I think getting away from this sense that we ought to be always available instantaneously for a response anytime, I think this experience working from home has taught me that maybe more along the lines of office hours. Here's when I'm available for whatever issue you have. If you have something urgent, something crucial, beyond those, by all means, give me a call, knock on the door, or whatever. Otherwise, keep it till then. And I think that was still a good way to support staff and protect the time that I'm really enjoying now when I can actually get something done. So when I was talking to people about this, the other kind of response I get from several people have been, well, I'm less productive at home. And when I explore that, they say things like, well, I'm more distracted. And so I probe a little bit and what that means. And well, I take time to go do the dishes, or I walk the dog, or heaven forbid, I've taken a nap, during the middle of the afternoon when I was tired. And I look and I think about that, and I think, yeah, but what did you do during the office? We're not operating in the flow, 100% efficiency all day long. How many times have we gone down the hall, you meet somebody you didn't expect, and you chat for 30 minutes? Sure, about work, about other things. Is that the most efficient use of your time? How many times have I need some fresh air, go out for a walk around the block? Same thing, right? We're doing very similar things at home, but it feels different because we're at home and we ought to be working. So I think we have to sort of readjust that sense and give ourselves a little break. It sort of reminds me of, we often feel guilty at work if we take time to make a doctor's appointment, go to the bank, or heaven forbid, do some online shopping about something that we just remembered, oh yeah, we need to get. We feel guilty about that. We feel bad about that. I'm not working. And when we do that from home, we feel it's totally not working. And so, even though we're working from home, and so we say, well, I can't count that time. So you take that off your time card, or you just feel like I had 8 hours a day, but I wasn't very productive. And yet, there are times. How many times at home do we check our email, respond to our email? Oh, I need to get this document out before this person comes into work the next morning. Interrupting on our home time. We rarely feel guilty about that. And so I think there's this sense that now we're feeling guilty about the home, the real life stuff we're doing at home when we're at work. I think it's just sort of a reflection that we have this strange warped sense of value and mutual responsibility. What's good? What's bad? Why is taking time at work in the office to make a doctor's appointment bad? Taking time at home to check your emails, respond to something, is good, and that's being productive, right? I think there's a better balance there, and I think that's part of what people are feeling when they say, oh, I'm less productive at home. I think we're holding ourselves to unreasonable standards, and we're forgetting that we weren't all that productive either in the office. Not that everyone's slacking off in the office or at home, but there are things going on there that distract us, just like there are things that are going on at home. And situations are different. I get it, right? Right now there's construction going outside my window. That's been distracting today, right? There were dogs barking. There are different occasions when you are more distracted. The same thing can happen at work. So yes, there are distractions in individual days and moments, and also in individual cases. But I think also I just want to point out that this sense that I'm at home and I'm distracted and doing something else in my personal life, mixing with my work day, that's bad. But I'm at work doing the same thing, and that's bad, but we count it as our work day. I mean, we feel it's bad, but we count it as our work day. So I think we need to be generous with ourselves, recognizing that this is a different realm, and we have to sort of get used to that, and forgive yourself for feeling that you need to take a nap, because maybe that's the best thing you need to do to focus so you're better using your time. You can't take a nap at work, so what do you do when you're at the office? What do you do instead? You probably are less productive and you're just not very engaged. There's not much to show for that day. So go ahead and take a 2-hour nap, and then 30 minutes, however long your nap is. And then when you're refreshed from that, you're probably more productive at that moment, and you're producing more of that day than you would have if you did not take a nap at the office, because you can't take naps in the office. Again, individual cases vary, but I just want to make that point. Be generous to yourself. Realize that we're borrowing time, home time, work time all the time, and that this bias that we have that doing home things at work and work things at home, there's differences in that. One's good, one's bad, one's valuable, one's something to be ashamed of. I think that's all nonsense. And just look at what the package of what you're getting done, what you need to do, and just give yourself some credit for hanging in there and getting that work done. So that's it for this time. I'd say I'd see you next time, but I won't, because I don't see you. So see me next time. Bye-bye.